They always like kept to themselves for years. They never really came to family functions, and things like that, which is why no one, the extended family, has ever seen, Jarvis unless you went over there like to their house. But in my instance, I've never seen him because I've had my own life and I've been gone. But I particularly haven't seen Jarvis, so I feel like they kept to themselves a long time for a reason, because if any of the other extended family would have got word or even saw him or picked up any inkling of anything, like they would have spoke up and said something, and something would have been, we would have noticed that something was off. So I feel like
sooner than later,
they kept to themselves for a reason, because they knew what they were doing. Just like, certain individuals, family members or what have you, were talking about the chains on the refrigerator. When I went over there to Annette house when I was little, I ain't never seen no chains on no refrigerator over there.
Oh, wow.
Never. But like there's instances when my mom has went over there. My mom has never seen chains on the refrigerator. So they know what they can do and what they can say in front of who. If they feel like you probably a little too loud, too nosy, too suspicious, they gonna get everything together, you know what I'm saying, and clean up house to make everything look normal. But if you an everyday goer over there and they don't care, then they just gonna keep everything like normal. But to us extended family members, we never seen none of that. We never seen nothing awkward. That's why we didn't know what was going on.
And that's why it took for a child to be at the birthday party to go back and tell Kenya something in 2022, 2023, that made her say like, oh, nah, because that kid isn't used to that stuff. So with Naziah being the older one, what do you think she was teaching the younger ones without her knowing that it's wrong?
They were hiding, yeah.
I mean, it's some people try and call it mental health and things like that. I don't believe in that, because when you are doing certain things to cover up certain actions, that means that you are knowingly, doing something that you're not supposed to that you're not supposed to do. So I just wish that we knew about this way earlier, and it's just sad that it's a person missing and possibly deceased. Something has to be written in blood for things to change, and it seems like that's the way our society is moving. Everything has to be written in blood for it to change, instead of it being right there in front of your face. And when people are trying to go take the proper channels to change things, they get ignored. And it isn't until blood is spilled when people are like, oh, I shoulda, coulda, woulda. It shouldn't have to take to get to that point.
Who removed her mom?
What do you mean, who removed her mom?
No, I'm talking about my life. Somebody dropped your mom.
She probably dropped herself.
She may have dropped accidentally or something.
Well, whenever she requests back up, let her back up. Because we're not doing that.
Roxy, you are right. I know you was trying to avoid this, and it shouldn't have to the worst case scenario in order for something to change. I'm so sorry, and I'm mourning with you.
Roxy, I do have another question, and so stating this GoFundMe, can you please clarify that? Because I don't like people coming into my live saying that you taking their money, you're not sending it back. I don't believe it, but I just want you to clarify that.
Okay, so I did create a GoFundMe for Naziah, because her immediate family members that she was with was not doing anything for her. I mean, nothing. So I did step up to the plate to put things on blast. I put Shannon on blast. I put Annette on blast. I put a lot of things out there. If people have been following me, I wasn't on TikTok, so I didn't know anything that was going on TikTok. I didn't know my face was everywhere. It was someone who came and brought it to my attention and was like, hey, you need to get on TikTok because this and this and that is being said about you, blah, 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 and you need to set the record straight. So I literally just got on TikTok probably maybe a week ago. So the GoFundMe that I created was for her, because I obviously saw that they weren't doing anything for her, and I felt like that was messed up. I never tied in a account to the GoFundMe. I just created it because I felt like she deserved that. I created it to have a memorial for her, a very nice memorial for her. I created it to start a foundation in her honor for sexually abused victims. And the rest, if there was any left over, was going to be for her brother because he's not stable. So to try to create some kind of stability as far as, a home or what have you for him and his child or what have you. And if there was some left over from that, then to get him a car. But all of that part of the brother was supposed to be a surprise. But it wasn't until whoever was in his ear telling him that I had cashed a check and I cashed the money and I wasn't and I was using the money for other things and it's like that, not even knowing I had never touched the money. I still haven't touched the money. The money is still there. So because he was blaming me and saying that I were doing things that I wasn't doing, he blocked his own blessing. So I decided to give everyone their money back, and I posted on my Facebook page. I'm mainly on Facebook. I'm not on all of these social media platforms. I'm mainly on Facebook as Roxy Rocks. So I went on there and posted, since people are in your ear telling you that I took out money and I didn't give people back their money, I posted the email from GoFundMe that's literally stated in the first sentence. If you do not tie an account to the GoFundMe account, it will automatically be refunded. So everyone will be getting their money back who donated. Now, there are several people who are telling me to keep it and things like that. But at this point, I don't need people to create false narratives when I know that I'm doing the right thing. And I am trying to honor her and keep her name alive, unlike them and their family. They're trying to get the money to buy weed and buy...
Roxy, he act like he on drugs. I heard y'all conversation, and he really act like he needs help more than just the money. If you give him that money, it seems like you will be hurting him than doing him good.
I mean, and in all honesty, I agree because even it's crazy to me. I posted the thread of messages between him and I because I didn't appreciate the disrespect. I'm doing this out the kindness of my heart. I don't care about followers. I don't care about none of that. Everybody can unfollow me and everything. I do not care. I know what I am doing for her because to me, in my eyes, nobody has done nothing for this girl. Nobody cared for her. I don't care about how long I've been gone. How long I haven't seen her.
About the sister, you like, what about your sister?
See her as that 2 or 3 year old little girl. So that's why this hit different for me because the last time I seen her, she was a baby. So I'm still in my head. I'm processing this baby. Is gone. This baby has been hurt and manipulated. So to see these videos of her being a young teenager and to hear the things that have been happening to her, it fucking hurts.
I can imagine.
It hurts. So people say this clout and all of this nonsense, but they don't understand when you are a mother and when you have a child and when you haven't seen somebody in a long time. I even cried when I saw her mother. The last time I saw her mother, she did not look like how I have seen her recently. I burst into tears because she was unrecognizable. She didn't look the same as the picture that I posted when I was standing next to her at one of our family reunion events when she was pregnant with Nazaria. So people don't understand how deep it goes for me because I still see her as that baby. So to hear that this baby went through all of this traumatic turmoil and the family that she was with isn't doing anything for her, that aggravates me. It boils my blood. So that is why I stepped up to the plate because they weren't doing anything for her.
And Roxy, honestly, we know you're not greedy. We know you're not greedy. It was going for the greater good. I hope that her brother...
That it wasn't. I said, oh, well, I'll show you better than I can tell you. Because people will then see who's doing this for clout and who's being genuine. Because if I wasn't making no noise about this, I'll tell you right now, if I go quiet for the rest of the month, you will see who's going to do what and the difference between me and everybody else. You're going to see the difference between me and her immediate family. You're going to see the difference between me and see who else steps up to the plate and does anything for her.
Roxy, I want to ask a question, right? Because I remember the messages between you and Shannon, right? When she was missing, and you asked Shannon, like, dang, like she really missing, like, why you didn't tell me? And but Lady was around. I just wanted to know, was Lady around during the time that she was missing? Because I also feel like that was like kind of like an urgency. Like, was Lady like in a house with her mom and them, or what was like Lady doing?
Lady is battling a drug addiction. She pops in, she pops out. That's it. I don't know if Lady was there because, once again, I was not living here. I did not talk to Lady on an everyday basis because Lady barely has a phone.
Right, but I remember the messages when in October, before anything, I think you were coming down to visit, and Shannon was like, "Lady here," and then when Naziah went missing,
so those messages are not between me and Shannon. They are between me and another cousin, because when I started asking questions to Shannon, Shannon cut off communication with me. So I called another one of my cousins, and I told her to text her, don't call her, because I want to see if she's going to change her story from what she told me and what she's going to tell another relative that I know was close to her. I posted the messages so that I could prove that what Shannon told me was something totally different from what she told another one of my cousins. So
because she made it seem so laid back, like she made it seem so laid back as if it wasn't an urgency. And even Shannon's page, she was sharing everybody else looking for Naziah, but there was no specific post from herself.
Right.
But I do know that Detroit was looking. I've been following it since the beginning, but I do know that Detroit was looking like they were setting up. They were doing a weekend. They called them. They say like the hood guys. Like they were
not doing anything. When I tell you, I have people that look out for me all around the entire city of Detroit. And if I call Detroit to do a search team right now, the 90% of Detroit will show up.
Roxy, was you the one? Or you
If it wasn't for Roxy,
they were not going on no doors. They said they were putting up flyers or what have you the case is, but then later on they were going to go take the flyers down. When I did the balloon release and I put up stuff on the pole up there on 3 Mile and Cornwall, they were ripping it down.
I heard that. You're by yourself.
To the balloon release, there's someone who lives directly across the street from them, and they said that they didn't even come over there and knock on their door.
I seen that.
my thing
They're
is,
on the same street.
Continue the GoFundMe, because after these facts came out, you have been doing all the work by yourself. Majority people want to talk about it, but are you putting action behind it?
Exactly.
Right.
That's the part. Like people, and you can tell. I can tell who has been following this story since really when it blew up. In my opinion, was in February when I got here. You know what I'm saying? I could tell the newcomers because all of this mixed information that's coming out of the woodworks, and then you have the people that's asking certain questions, which you can tell they're not following. And I'm grateful for people to spread awareness, but if you're going to spread awareness, make sure you are spreading the correct information. They got the wrong energy and hatred towards me when y'all don't even know half of what I've been doing and how I've been stepping out here in these streets. I don't put everything on social media. I do not. And I am still pushing and searching for her. Clearly, I'm running into people I don't even know. You know what I'm saying? And then she twisted that to be something that it wasn't at all. I was trying to do was just tell you, like, hey, you a female out here and you might want to be careful because you don't know what you're getting yourself into. You don't even know that it's a man that lives in this building. You don't even know the layout. So what if you would have got snatched and you out here and you a female? You don't have no firearm on you or nothing. I carry my strap on me all the time. I'm out here.
I don't think she wrapped too tight personally, because what the hell is she?
She's not wrapped tight at all.
can I say something?
Be disrespectful to sit up here. I think someone told me something about. She said, "At least I'm not out here looking for my kids' bones in the snow." Like,
Why did it sit right with me?
like that. That's what comes out of your mouth.
Oh my God.
That's what comes out of your mouth.
And it went from you trying to get the word out about an desire to you having to defend yourself. So I definitely understand it. I tell you,
Exactly.
I've been following it. I've been going to the panels and like stating facts. Like, wait, hold up. Although it's not the preliminary, but again,
Minnie Young said that.
I remember the post from Kenya. I remember the date, and a lot of people that was posting it, it was certain words that they couldn't post. But I did go and find the initial post, and Kenya sounded like one of my family members. Like, no, y'all got this going on, that going on. But I did want to ask, was Shannon and them like slow? Are they like slow? Like, as a side check, like, is something wrong with them mentally?
I don't know because I haven't been around them. I did not
Like
listen.
growing up, did you not get like that kind of feeling like something was wrong with them? Like,
I mean, we all kids. How would I know if they were slow and we all kids? We all around the same age. Like, I think I'm maybe 2 or 3. I think, oh, shit. I think I'm maybe at a maximum 4 years older than Shannon. Maybe. But,
Roxy, another question.
we worried about,
Hold on, guys. Hold on. Hold on, guys.
I gotta calm down.
Anyone that's being negative in the comments, you guys will be muted.
Fuck them, mute, block them.
Okay, I'll block you. Go ahead.
Roxy.
you know, when we younger, you know what I'm saying, we was worried about, you know, jumping rope and going to the ice cream truck and things like that. So I wasn't paying attention to be around. They never really came around like that. It was really like when we threw a family reunion, and I think they only maybe came to like 2, and that was maybe in, I think, like 2009, and then another one in 2007. After that, even when I came back to visit Detroit, you know, in between the time of me not living here, I never went to go see them, you know, for real, for real. I talked to them on the phone here and there, but we was never like super duper close like that for me to know. And even if I did talk to them on the phone, like, we didn't talk about Jarvis, we didn't talk about Isaiah. It's one of those things. Hey, cuz, how you doing? Good. I'm good. How the kids? The kids good. All right. Talk to you later. Like, that's it.
So usually just big events like holidays and here and there.
I mean, they only came around for like two family reunions. I am the nucleus of the family because I always am the one that wants to get the family together. Everyone.
Oh wow! All by yourself, you gotta.
Yes, I've been doing it for years. When I come here, I throw parties. I get everybody together. Like, anybody in the family can tell you that I am the one that gets everybody together. If I'm not here planning nothing, nobody gathers. Like,
I believe you, because they didn't even have the basic necessities over there. I believe you.
Exactly. So it's like, you know, with them, they kept themselves away, and now it's like, thinking about this over the years, it's like, well, damn, now we see why, because y'all had all of this going on. And if any other family members would have got word that this was going on, we damn sure wouldn't be here today talking about this, because it would have been like deaded.
If we want to be here today, because I've been watching from the beginning. Like, you've been here. The fact that he said you're not the voice, I'm not, no disrespect to her son. He said you're not the voice, he's the voice, but he said he's gonna talk when he want to. How you gonna talk when you want to? It's never gonna get anywhere.
Yeah,
He was
in all
brainwashed.
actuality, I never wanted to be the face or the voice for Naziah. I wasn't trying to do that. This just fell on me like this. This is what the community put on me, because I was the only one that was showing up. My face was the only one that was out there. I was the only one that was willing to speak up. I was the only one that was putting them on blast. I was the only one willing to do interviews, because whatever it took to get her name out there, to get her found, I did it. Any interview, I've been on interviews. I've been protesting in front of the courthouse. I've been in front of CPS. I've been in the rain, snow, sleet, the water, the ponds, the woods. I have been everywhere.
Correct. And Roxy, we thank you for everything that you've been doing.
You know, so it's just like, I don't, this fell in my lap. I didn't ask for this. So for her brother to say that he's the voice, and I'm like, if you want to be a voice, you have to use your voice, because if you consider this being her voice and it's been a year later, we damn sure wouldn't be where we are right now.
Exactly. That's why I was confused, because it's like, how you gonna you're gonna say you're the voice, but you said you're gonna speak when you want. Like it was.
I didn't ask to be her voice. It just happened this way. I didn't ask to be the face. It just happened. I wasn't afraid to speak up. I wasn't afraid to show my face. And other family members, immediate family members, didn't want to do that.
He just
not to cut anybody off, but a lot of people are asking about the GoFundMe.
We already
if they could donate
3 times.
We already
What about the GoFundMe? The GoFundMe that I created, I have decided to give everyone their money back. If you don't believe it, go on my Facebook page at Roxy Rocks. It is still posted.
I see that.
No, they wanted to know if they could donate.
I mean,
but you're not doing it anymore?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know how to feel about it. I really don't know how to feel about it. Part of me wants to keep it and use the money to start a foundation for her, because now the rapper Skilla said that he was going to pay for everything. So there would be no need for me to use the GoFundMe for the memorial if he said that he was going to pay for it. If anything, I would want to create a foundation in her name and in her honor, to honor her. It's about her. That's it. It's not about nobody else. It's not about nobody feeling entitled because they're her brother and whatever the case is. It is for her.
Yes, a little community center.
She's not responsible for you to take care of you and your child. It's for her to help other women. Do y'all know how many women and how many teenagers have come to me and was like, damn, Roxy, I wish I had somebody like you to speak up for me, to look up for me. So essentially, I feel like maybe I should and just put it towards creating a foundation and an organization to help.
I was just about to say that.
100%. I feel like you should really do that.
You know what I'm saying? It's like I want to, but at the same time, I'm getting tired of the backlash, and I'm trying to just say F the backlash and just focus on a positive, and then everyone will see what is happening. You know what I'm saying? In due time, because obviously it takes time to create an organization or a foundation, and then it takes time for me to find people who are willing to volunteer.
We go vouch for you. We here for you.
Yeah,
everybody been seeing like they.
To be honest, you don't gotta answer to nobody when it comes to that, and you know your true background of it and your situation of this situation. You don't gotta answer to none of these people. At the end of the day, you a grown ass woman. You do what you do. If you wanna have the money for the memorial, or even to have a little fundraiser or whatever you got going on, don't answer to these people.
It was just some
moving silent.
But you're innocent. Yeah.
You moving silent.
I don't have no.
And your attorney with your mask on and taking vigorous notes. I want you to pay attention and listen to everything I have to say. I have been trying to figure out for the last 5 days you. At one point, I thought you were cognitively impaired in the beginning of this exam. And then maybe you had the brain of a 10-year-old, and that's why you were doing such things. But as I heard more and more testimony, you're just the true definition of a pedophile. Watching you laugh and brag about all the women you have with different women and the children and the girlfriends, and making babies to groom them and having them in your presence, cleaning up your shop, and the little girls around you, has landed you here today. You groomed Desire. You played mind games with her. We all heard that. You controlled her emotionally. She was exposed to so much at such a young age. The text messages between you two were disgusting to hear. And to think that she had you saved in her phone as babe for life. Desire deserves so much more. And while I mentioned other people that failed her, Jarvis Butts, you are the monster in this whole picture. She did deserve love from her parents and everyone who was in her life. She was ignored, she was neglected, and you took complete advantage of that. She wanted someone to love her, and she will never know what that feels like. Your children deserve more. As much as defense counsel has raised issues on count 1, all that has done is raise the question of fact for the trier fact, which means that this will be for a jury or a judge to hear in Third Circuit. I pray for the healing of all the victims and the young girls and possibly boys who have come into contact with you. As a community, we should look at this case as a prime example of how much work we have to do when it comes to protecting our children and especially our Black girls.